Hey everyone! In this short video we're going to be jacking up the rear end of a 2004 Infiniti G35X. Stay tuned. The 2004 Infiniti G35X is back in the garage once again, and this time it's in for a rear brake job. So we'll be covering jacking up the rear end of the G35X here. I'll have a separate video on replacing the rear brake rotors and pads, so stay tuned for that. I also did a separate video on jacking up the front end of the G35, so I'll put a link up to that video also. To get started, I'm going to pull the car into the garage since the garage floor is fairly flat and level. Next, I'm going to go ahead and place some wheel chocks in front of and behind the front wheels. And this is going to be a very important step since we're going to lose the assistance of the parking brake with the rear wheels off the ground. Okay, we're ready to jack up the car, so here's the rear jack point at the rear differential. And be careful to not use the exhaust as a jack point here. And as I'm jacking up the car, what I'm going to do is stop every few inches just to verify that the jack pad is not shifted under the differential. You may also want to place a block of wood between the jack pad and the differential. Since I'm only going to be working on the rear brakes, I'm just going to jack up the car high enough to remove the rear wheels. Next, I'll slide my jack stands into place under the pinch wells on both sides of the car. And I'm using the same jack stand pads I used when I jacked up the front end of the car. Lastly, I'll lower the rear of the car onto the jack stands, and before I take all of the weight of the car off the jack, I'm going to make sure the stands are positioned correctly.